Unfortunately for Angel Reese, she's dead last, and I'm not kidding you, in this list of players, and she looks really, really bad in comparison, and we're going to take a look at that.
What if I told you that one of the WNBA's most talked about rookies is actually struggling to put the ball in the basket? Angel Reese may dominate headlines and rack up followers like a celebrity, but the numbers paint a very different picture. Her shooting efficiency? Let's just say it's raising eyebrows. And not in a good way. It's the kind of stat her biggest supporters don't want to talk about.
Oh, refreshing to see some shots actually make it. Refreshing? Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music! Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
Stick around, because what I'm about to show you might completely change the way you see Angel Reese. If you think she's underperforming now, wait until you see just how deep the problem goes. The stats are brutal, and once you find out where Reese actually ranks among WNBA scorers, you'll understand why some of the game's biggest icons are starting to speak out. By the end of this video, we're breaking down 2 basketball legends Reese thought were backing her, but are now calling her out. The gap between hype and reality? It's massive. Let's get into it.
A couple of the most baffling things that I've seen this offseason is the lack of videos involving Angel Reese working on layups. Now, look, the layup issue is a real issue for Angel Reese, and I don't understand the taking all the... I mean, yeah, sure, you can practice 2-point shots just inside the 3-point line. You can practice 3-point shots, but there seems to be an emphasis on that from Angel Reese, and I don't understand, because she should be trying to perfect her game inside 5 foot.
Did you know Angel Reese ranks at the very bottom in shooting efficiency among high-volume scorers in the WNBA? It's not just bad, it's shockingly bad. The stats paint an even uglier picture than most expected, and it's time we break it down.
All right, back to business. Slime bag work, Brittany Griner, you said you rang?
Somebody said she's got the coordination skills of a baby giraffe. I don't know what baby giraffes did to receive that kind of slander, but I won't stand for it. Bang!
The WNBA is back in little over a month. A friendly reminder, we're not watching because of one person. We're watching because of her too.
When breaking down a player's offensive impact, true shooting percentage is the stat that carries the most weight. Unlike regular field goal percentage, it factors in everything. 2-pointers, threes, and free throws, giving us a much clearer picture of a player's scoring efficiency. It's not just about how many points they put up, but how smart and effective they are with each possession. In a league where every trip down the court counts, this stat is what separates true offensive threats from players just putting up empty numbers.
Chicago Sky's Angel Reese found herself at the very bottom of the list, sitting at 30th, with a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%. The contrast between the 2 rookies, both with massive college followings and major fan bases, ignited strong reactions on.
Let's talk about the stat no one wants to admit. Angel Reese is currently posting a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%, putting her near the bottom of the entire league. That's not just a rough patch, that's a major red flag. For context, most seasoned WNBA players hover comfortably above 50%, and elite scorers shoot even higher. Right now, Reese's efficiency isn't even in the conversation with the league's top talent. She's operating in a completely different stratosphere, and not in a good way.
Be nice to look this clumsy at your job and then declare you're underpaid. Privilege! Bang! Justice for all baby giraffes out there. I will fight the good fight. Bang! There's one thing to take from these videos: never give up, because if she can do it, you can do it too.
Some might be quick to say she's just a rookie still adjusting to the pro level, but that argument doesn't hold much weight when you look at the competition. Caitlin Clark, facing more defensive pressure than any other rookie, is putting up a stellar 58.3% true shooting percentage, good for 6th in the entire league, first among all rookies, and 2nd among guards, trailing only Kelsey Mitchell. Clark is excelling under the same so-called rookie curve that's being used to justify Reese's lackluster numbers. The difference: one is rising to the moment, the other is still trying to find her footing.
Caitlin Clark may just be starting her WNBA journey, but she's already making waves, not only with highlight plays, but also with cold, hard numbers. A recent viral post on X revealed the true shooting efficiencies of the league's top 30 scorers, and it sparked quite the controversy among fans. Clark, now a rookie with the Indiana Fever, ranked 6th amongst all shooters with a true shooting percentage of 58.3%. True shooting percentage takes into account a player's field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, making it a key indicator of overall scoring efficiency. For a first-year player, it's elite company to be in.
Even if you chalk Clark up as a rare case, the numbers still don't let Reese off the hook. Take Rickea Jackson, the 4th overall pick. She's posting an impressive 55.2% true shooting percentage. And while Cameron Brink, number 2 pick, and Camila Cardoso, number 3 pick, didn't make the list due to limited scoring sample sizes caused by injury setbacks, it's clear Reese isn't being outshined by just one rookie. She's trailing an entire class.
Clark's game has translated well to the pros. Her shooting from deep remains a threat, 33.9% from beyond the arc. She was 13th in the league, while her mid-range and inside games are just as effective. She ranked 4th in 2-point field goal percentage. I mean, see, that's where I'd expect Angel Reese to be real high. Nah. And 2nd in free throw shooting with a remarkable 90.9%. Her effective field goal percentage, EFG, which adjusts for three-point shots being worth more, stood at 52.1%, good for 10th overall.
Here's a stat that'll make you do a double take. Nearly 40% of Angel Reese's highly praised rebounds are actually off her own missed shots. Think about that. While her rebounding totals look strong at first glance, a big chunk of them are just a byproduct of her inefficiency at the rim. She's missing shots that most post players would finish, and padding her own rebound stats in the process. And if her true shooting percentage didn't raise eyebrows, her effective field goal percentage should a league low 39.5%. That number is brutal. When Reese looks to score, the numbers suggest the Sky would be better off if just about anyone else took the shot. That kind of inefficiency doesn't just affect her stats, it disrupts the entire flow of the offense. It's no wonder defenders are daring her to shoot.
By contrast, Reese's shooting woes drew criticism. She finished 30th in 2-point percentage at 40%. God. 29th in 3-point percentage, 18.8, and her effective field goal percentage was a league low 39.5%. That's crazy as hell. And I don't want to hear nothing about a big. We're going to take a look at something. Even from the free throw line, often a reliable scoring source for bigs, she landed 27th. Considering most of Reese's shots come from close to the rim.
And believe it or not, the deeper you dig, the worse it gets. When you break down where Angel Reese is taking her shots and how she's missing them, the numbers become even more alarming. We haven't even touched the most telling stats yet. Reese's shooting woes aren't just concerning for a rookie, they're historically bad when you factor in how often she has the ball and the types of shots she's taking. Most players with efficiency this low don't keep a high usage rate for long. Coaches usually have no choice but to shift the offense elsewhere, but somehow Reese still holds a major role in Chicago's offensive scheme, even when the data clearly shows she hasn't earned it.
Some fans found the numbers hard to stomach. A 6'3" post player that shot 90% of shots from 5 foot within 5 foot is at 30. Another one said, OMG, Angel, get up, girl.
It's one thing to have high usage and low efficiency. That alone raises red flags. But when you zoom in on Angel Reese's performance around the rim, the numbers become downright troubling. Despite standing 6 feet 3 inches, she's converting just 44.5% of her shots within 5 feet of the basket, a zone where her size should give her a clear edge. Shockingly, she's being outperformed by guards nearly half a foot shorter. In basketball, that's not just underwhelming, it's a clear failure to capitalize on her biggest physical advantage.
I'm gonna be honest with you here. I think it is a deal that is eventually going to get her benched in the WNBA. I think that will happen one day, because a good coach, if she ever gets one, is going to look at this and be like, you're 6'4", you're 6'3", you're too damn inefficient. I can't have you on the court. And, just perfect your craft. And then worry about all the other collateral things around you after the fact.
Let's break this down. At 6 feet 3 inches with a lengthy wingspan, Angel Reese should be a nightmare for defenders near the basket. By all basketball logic, a player with her size should be cashing in on those close range opportunities, making them almost automatic. But somehow Reese's conversion rate on these high percentage shots is shockingly low, something you'd expect more from perimeter players than a post player. Most WNBA players finish these shots at rates between 55% and 65%. Reese's 44.5%. That's a glaring outlier for all the wrong reasons. Even more concerning, her shooting from 5 to 9 feet, where she manages a dismal 11%. Yes, you heard that right. She's making only 1 out of every 10 shots from mid-range.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
What makes this stat even more troubling is how it compares to smaller guards who face much steeper challenges finishing at the rim. Take Kelsey Mitchell, for example. Standing at just 5 feet 8 inches, Mitchell consistently outperforms Reese, finishing at an impressive 60% on shots within 5 feet of the basket, despite giving up 7 inches in height. Let that sink in. A guard who barely reaches Reese's shoulders is more effective in the paint than someone with every physical advantage you could ask for. But it's not just about height. Game footage shows clear technical flaws in Reese's finishing. Poor footwork, inconsistent release points, and a tendency to rush shots even when wide open. One analysis even called her shooting form a fundamentals horror show, pointing out her crossed wrists and a pushing motion that starts from her hips, rather than the smooth, proper shooting form you'd expect. Some fans have compared it to watching an uncoordinated baby giraffe trying to shoot.
This tells you, look at effective bigs in the league. Jonquel Jones, one of my favorite players, actually. Brittany Griner, 1 and 2. All right, that's what it's supposed to look like for somebody that's 6'3" and above. Asia Wilson, way up there. Then Mitchell, then Clark. Look, if you want to compare Angel to somebody like Aaliyah Boston, look at that. She's right here, 53.7%. From 2-point percentage, she was ranked 13th in the league. Angel was ranked 30th.
The disparity becomes even more glaring when you compare Reese to elite post players with similar physical traits. Aja Wilson, for example, converts 67.3% of her shots at the rim, while Brittany Griner makes 63.1% of hers. Both players know how to maximize their size, establishing deep position, using solid footwork, and finishing with precision rather than relying solely on height. Even Caitlin Clark, who stands 4 inches shorter at 6 feet 0 inches and faces far more defensive pressure as the primary ball handler, converts 54.1% of her 2-point attempts. And she accomplishes this despite taking tougher shots, often creating her own opportunities against set defenses instead of receiving passes in favorable positions.
Angel Reese doesn't look so hot here. Caitlin Clark, she did that as a rookie, folks. Think about that a minute. As a rookie.
So what's really behind this glaring difference? It's definitely not a matter of physical limitations. Reese has the perfect build for basketball, and it's not due to defensive pressure either. While she does attract defenders, she doesn't face the same constant double and triple teams that Clark deals with. The undeniable truth is that Reese's struggles come down to fundamental technical issues in her game. Her inability to convert high percentage shots near the basket has been called a career-threatening problem that needs urgent attention. When a player's primary role is to finish those easy opportunities close to the rim and they consistently fail at it, it raises serious concerns about their long-term future in the league. Let's dive into what's really going wrong.
Footage out there of Angel working on her game in the lab, as they say, and mostly what we see is Angel shooting three-pointers.
With Angel Reese's career on the line due to significant issues finishing at the rim, you'd think she'd be spending every second working on layups, but her social media paints a completely different picture. Recent workout videos show Reese practicing three-pointers with a shooting form that would make any coach cringe. Instead of focusing on fixing her struggles close to the basket, she's inexplicably dedicating time to long-range shooting, a part of her game where she only converted 18.8% of attempts last season. It's like someone trying to practice parallel parking before they've even learned how to start the car. The technical flaws in Reese's shooting form are glaring, even to those with basic basketball knowledge. Her unsteady base makes it impossible to establish proper balance. When she releases the ball, her arms and wrists cross in a way that completely throws off the alignment needed for consistent accuracy. Her jerky, awkward release looks more like someone shot putting a medicine ball than shooting a basketball. These aren't minor adjustments to an otherwise solid foundation. These are fundamental mistakes that any competent shooting coach would address with middle school players.
Okay, so here you see she's being fed the ball. She's in the right corner. She gets the ball. And again, if you're going to work on expanding your game, okay. But at least make sure that your technique is right. So I'm hoping that this guy and whoever else works with her will work on her technique, because I don't care how many you shoot like this with nobody guarding you. If your technique is not right, you might get a few here or there by happenstance or whatever, but you're not going to consistently knock down shots.
What's truly perplexing is Reese's unwavering focus on the wrong aspects of her game. While her social media showcases three-point attempts that often miss the mark, she continues to neglect the inside finishing that could make her a serious offensive weapon. This isn't just about bad shooting form. It points to a deeper issue, a fundamental misunderstanding of her own strengths as a player. This misplaced focus on long-range shooting isn't simply a poor basketball decision. It reveals a lack of awareness about her own potential. When you're 6 feet 3 inches with impressive length and athleticism, yet you're shooting worse from point-blank range than guards who are 7 inches shorter than you, your training priorities should be crystal clear. Instead, Reese seems focused on trying to become a player she's not, rather than capitalizing on the physical tools she already has.
Her arms, her wrists are crossed. Her wrists are crossed, which is the wrong form. Your wrist should not be crossed. You should be totally aligned to your target. So this means that her shooting hand, which is her left, is crossing over. Her elbow, therefore, jutting out.
So, what do the legends have to say about Reese's shooting form? When basketball royalty speaks, smart players pay attention. Unfortunately for Angel Reese, that royalty isn't exactly praising her right now. What began as warm support from Hall of Famers has now shifted into something far more uncomfortable: public criticism. The most revealing moment came during an episode of Reese's own podcast, where WNBA legend Lisa Leslie didn't hold back in addressing the fundamental flaw hurting Reese's game.
And in my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me?
Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups. Period.
Leslie didn't mince words, directly addressing the glaring issue that Reese herself seems hesitant to recognize. This wasn't just a casual critique, it came from a 4-time Olympic gold medalist and 3-time WNBA MVP who was pinpointing the career-altering flaw that Reese continues to overlook.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form, because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
What makes this intervention so eye-opening is how it highlights the contrast between Reese's development and that of other rising stars. Take Caitlin Clark, for example. Every day she's in the gym, working in game-specific drills that aim to build on-court chemistry. Clark's training focuses on refining her shooting form, finishing through contact, and perfecting her screen and cut actions, skills directly relevant to her growth as a player. Her approach is purposeful, playing to both her strengths and areas for improvement. This contrast hasn't gone unnoticed by fans either. One viewer raised a pointed question after seeing Reese's latest three-point shooting drill. Is Reese trying to be Steph Curry or Caitlin Clark? It cuts straight to the heart of the matter. Reese appears intent on becoming something she's not, instead of playing to her natural strengths. Then, of course, there was the awkward exchange with Shaq, which some fans described as verbal body shot.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is. Like, everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry. Your shot is your shot.
One of the most talked about moments was when Shaq compared Reese to Antonio Jameson. While Jameson was certainly a solid player with a respectable NBA career, he never reached Hall of Fame status, something that Shaq himself, of course, achieved. By drawing this comparison, Shaq seemed to suggest that Reese was more of a role player than a future superstar. And that comparison, it clearly hit a nerve.
Called her Antoine Jameson. Most people... Trust me, she was offended.
She didn't know who that was.
She probably does. She's a basketball fan. She probably does. But, I mean, Antoine Jameson ain't cracking nobody's top 200 in NBA history. And this woman thinks she's one of the greatest WNBA players or greatest women's basketball player of all time.
Next came Shaq's critique of Reese's layup technique, which he brushed off as basic. He bluntly said, "You're too focused on what others think. Stop caring and just play your game." For someone like Reese, who has built her reputation around bold, unapologetic self-expression, Shaq's unsolicited advice felt less like guidance and more like a dismissal of everything she stands for.
Oh, she can't be rookie of the year because all she do is do the flip shots, get them out. Just remember all that shit that they say.
Meanwhile, Reese seems to be doing the exact opposite, doubling down on three-point shooting when she should be dominating the boards and exploiting her size in the paint. It's like watching someone with a flat tire stopping to polish their hubcaps. The game's legends notice it, fans notice it, analysts notice it. Everyone, it seems, except Reese herself. The numbers don't lie. While Angel Reese continues to battle fundamental shooting struggles, Caitlin Clark is quietly transforming the WNBA with her stunning efficiency. And it's not just the analysts who are taking note. Basketball legends are recognizing her too.
We knew that Caitlin Clark was this phenomenal talent, but she was entering a league that she was not familiar with. She was a rookie. The Indiana Fever have been actively building and rebuilding their organization and this team, and they have a lot of incredible pieces. But the fact that they were able to get into the playoffs and be a team that, although they didn't, advance far in the playoffs, they were a team that we kept saying, if you face them, they're gonna make it difficult for you. That organization then saw that and said, we are capitalizing on this and we're doing it now.
Clark's long-range shooting remains as dangerous as ever, but what's truly remarkable is how seamlessly she's adapted her mid-range and inside game to the pro level. Her influence stretches far beyond the numbers. She's transforming the way the game is played and understood. The Indiana Fever are crafting their future around a player who lifts everyone around her. For women's basketball fans, 2025 is shaping up to be something extraordinary, a season where basketball IQ, efficiency, and teamwork shine. Are you excited? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on the screen and we'll catch you in the next one.